The first date. It could be the beginning of something wonderful, something magical. It could also be a super hilarious, super embarrassing story to talk about with your friends. Well, in today's video, I'm gonna be letting you in on the 12 things that you should absolutely never do on a first date. And before I do that, I appreciate if you smash that thumbs up button for me to let me know, yo, Evan, awesome stuff, man. And without further ado, let's begin. The very first thing to never do on a first date, and that is to never show up late. When you show up late, it shows the other person that their time is not worth your time. And you just set a negative tone of the date right from the start. Now, you don't have to show up super early, like half an hour early. But a gentleman is always reliable, a gentleman is always dependable, and a gentleman is always on time. On to the second thing to never do on a first date, and that is to never dress poorly. I just did a video recently talking about exactly what to wear on a first date and some of the outfit inspirations. I'll link it down below if you want to check it out. Basically, you want to look presentable, right? You want to show some personality, show some style. At the same time, you don't want to be too flamboyant and too flashy. So just make sure that your clothes fit you properly, your grooming is on point and smelling amazing, and bam, you are set. On to the third thing to never do on a first date, and that is to never spend too much money on your first date. When you're taking her to a super fancy 5-star gourmet restaurant on the first date, it is like you're trying to bribe her using the fancy restaurant and the fancy food to get her to like you. Even if she ends up really liking you, you're impressing her with the wrong things. Plus, on your first date, you are not even sure that you really like her yet. You're not sure that you guys are even compatible, you guys are meant to be together. So for the first date, ideally, you want to go to somewhere simple, right? Somewhere inexpensive and quiet, like a nice cafe, where you can just focus on having a good conversation, right? And getting to know each other. It is just the first date, so just be casual, be chill, laid back, and have fun. Okay, on to the fourth thing to never do on a first date, and that is when it comes to food, never order something that is messy. During the first date, we tend to be overconscious, right? We don't wanna make a mess. So order something easy to eat, right? Try not to order something that requires you to use your hands to eat them, like a super greasy burger and some fries. Also, try not to order some super spicy food and super oily food that will make you sweat or make your mouth super greasy and oily and disgusting. And then you're gonna start worrying and be conscious about how messy you're looking. So just stick with something simple and easy to eat, like a pasta or sushi, which is my favorite, and just focus on the conversation. Okay, on to the fifth thing to never do on a first date, and that is to never split the bill. Come on, you are the man, you are the gentleman, and my rule of thumb is if you asked her out on a date, then you should pay for the date. Now, if she offers to split the bill, that means she is a keeper. But don't let her, alright? Let her know, nah, maybe next time, but I got this. Moving on to the sixth thing to never do on a first date, and that is to never talk too much. Especially about yourself. When you do that, you just look super narcissistic and super overbearing. Plus, when you talk too much, you tell her every single thing about yourself. There's no mystery over there anymore, right? She basically knows everything about you already, and what are you gonna talk about on your potential second date? The pro tip here is to ask questions, right? Be an active listener and let her do most of the talking. The more she talks, the more she opens up about herself, the more interested and attentive you are, the more she's gonna be connected to you. Which brings us to the seventh thing that you should never do on a first date, which is also about conversation, and that is to never only ask boring questions. What are boring questions? What do you do? How long have you been doing it for? What school did you go to? Any question that leads to just a yes or no answer, or any question that just leads to a simple one word or a one-line answer. It's okay to ask these kind of questions, but you also need to ask more fun, more interesting and deeper questions, right? Because I mean, it's a date. It is not an interview. You can easily Google fun questions to ask on a date and prepare these questions beforehand. For example, what is your most useless talent? Or what would you do if you win $1 million? Or what would your most perfect day look like? These questions will lighten up the mood, right? Make the conversation more fun and get to know each other on a deeper level. Moving on to the 8th thing to never do on a first date, and that is to never complain. Do not complain about your life. Do not complain about your job, your boss, your teacher. Especially, do not complain about your ex. Because I mean, nobody likes to be around somebody who is negative and pessimistic, right? When you complain, it just shows that your life is no fun. That your life is full of negativity and nobody wants to be part of it. And men, you are on a date, right? It is supposed to be lighthearted, it's supposed to be fun. So talk about your passion, talk about what you love. On to the 9th thing to never do on a first date, and that is to never avoid touch. When you first meet her, you wanna break the touch barrier as soon as possible. Because touch is one of the 5 love languages, and it's a great way to let her be more comfortable around you. I'm not suggesting that you should touch her inappropriately. Actually, you should never do that. But it could be as simple as giving her a hug when you first meet her, or when you are leading her to a restaurant or a cafe, you can hold her by her waist. Or when she says something that you are excited about or something that you agree with, you can go in and give her a high five. Moving on to the 10th thing to never do on a first date, and that is to never put her on a pedestal. What does it mean? It means that to never go on a date having the mindset that she is your ultimate prize. That you have to do everything that you can to woo her, right? To gain her favor. For example, like I mentioned, buying her an expensive meal, or bringing her a bouquet of flowers, or over complimenting her, telling her how amazing she is, how beautiful she is. Now, 1 compliment, it's great, right? But 10 compliments, it's a little bit crazy and a little bit needy. It shows that you are already head over heel over her when it's only the first date. Now, you can do all those stuff when you guys are already in a relationship, but the first date, it's a little bit too much. Your first date, it is an opportunity for you to get to know her better, right? So look at it as an opportunity for you to see if she is a cool person too. And if she's not, then peace. Moving on to the 11th thing that you should never do on a first date. Wait, hold up a minute. Funny stuff, man. Yep. Alright, I'll see you later. Sent. Never stick to your phone. It just shows the other person that they are not important, that they are not worth your time. Wait, hold up a minute. Yep, alright. This is fun, right? Wait, what? I'm sorry. It just shows her that she's not worth your attention, right? That you rather look at the phone. And as a gentleman on a date, always put away your phone. Okay, last but not least, the 12th thing to never do on a first date, and that is to never put too much pressure. Do not go on a first date having the mindset that she is the only one. It is either her or nobody else. You gotta take a chill pill, right? You gotta relax, you gotta take it easy. It's only a date. You guys are not getting married. If it works well, great, set up a second date. If it doesn't work, it's okay. Still be a gentleman. It's nice to meet you. Go in with no expectations, right? So just go in to know each other better, have a good conversation, relax, and no pressure. And that is basically it for today's video. If you found this video helpful, make sure to smash that thumbs up button to let me know yo, Evan, awesome stuff, man. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you haven't done so already. Have a great day, y'all, and I'll see every single one of you in my next video. Bam!